guys, welcome back to our homestead. I'm Michelle. Well, we've been real busy on the homestead, and if you haven't seen some of our previous videos, we have new baby goats on the homestead, and we've got a girl and a boy, and we are trying to come up with some names, and we're hoping from you viewers that you can help us out. Please leave some names in the comments, and we'll try to pick out the best names possible out of the bunch. And so in my previous video, I had mentioned that I was going to be doing a sewing project that I wanted to share with you guys. I don't really get to sew that often on the homestead, but when I do, I really enjoy it, and it takes my mind off of all the craziness that's going on in the world. So I had thought that when we choose the best names for our baby goats, that I was going to give away the sewing project that I share with you today as a free gift. So today we're going to be making some wonderful mug mats, and if you love to sew like I do, you're going to really enjoy this project. And sewing is a great skill to have on the homestead, and it's great for women and men alike. So let's get started. Okay, so we're making the patchwork mug mats today, and you're going to need a 5-inch square and a 6-inch square. The 6-inch will be for the backing of your mug mat, and the 5-inch will be for the front top portion of your mug mat. Now your 5-inch piece of fabric here, you're going to want to fold over just like this, and you're going to press it. So once you have it pressed, it'll be like this. Then you're going to press it again just like this, so it's in a square. Once you have it pressed, you're going to open it up, and you're going to take your ruler. You're going to take a pen, and you are going to mark from corner to corner. So once you have it marked, you will have something like this. So you can still see your marking here. Now we're going to be working with 4-inch squares and the 3-inch squares. Okay, so these are just 4-inch squares that I have folded over like this in half. I pressed it, and you can also use like a starch of some type because you really want them a really neat press. So once you have it pressed in half like this with your 4-inch square, you're going to press it again just like this in half, and then you're going to press it again like that, so it's a triangle. Once you have all your 4-inch triangles done, you'll go ahead and move on to your 3-inch squares. And you'll do the same again with this. Go ahead and press it into a triangle. And you know, if they're not perfect together, that's okay. So we're going to start off with, so for the first mug mat, we're going to start off with this pink, and we're just going to line it up into the sections that you have lined off here. You can either use the spray adhesive to get this attached to the bottom of your 5-inch square, or you can go ahead and take some pins and the whole idea is with you marking your 5-inch square is to make sure this is lined up really well. So you will go ahead and pin all your 4 triangles down. And just remember to make sure that they're all nice and tight, tightly lined up, because that's going to make a difference. Is what you could do is you could hand stitch some stitching here, or you could go ahead and machine stitch it. And I'm going to go ahead and machine stitch it just to be quick here, so I'll be right back. Alright, so I went ahead and got this all stitched down. Now I'm going to open these back up and make sure they're a nice triangle, and I'm going to press it down just like that. Okay, so I got that nice and pressed. Now you're going to take your 4-inch squares Now I'm going to go ahead and stitch in here. I'm going to open this up and run a stitch right here. So once I got that sewed, the 4 triangles sewed on and pressed, I'm going to go ahead and add my other 4-inch triangles, and I'm almost going to take this triangle and bring it all the way to the point there, because you just want it to be able to cover these up. So I will go ahead and stitch these in place. So I'm going to go ahead and get this pressed and stitch these in place, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I got the rest of my 4-inch squares nicely pressed. Now I've got my 3-inch squares, and I'm going to go ahead and attach these. Now you're going to have some hanging over, but those are going to be trimmed. Those are going to be trimmed for when we put on our backing and our batting. So I got those in place. Now I'm going to go ahead and sew these down, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I got my corner triangle sewn on. Now I'm going to take my other 3-inch triangles, and I'm going to sew them on right here. Okay, now I got the rest of my triangles sewn on, and I'm going to go ahead and press this again. Alright, so I got it all pressed. Now these center triangles, you are going to want to make sure they're underneath the corner triangles here. So just go ahead and make sure those are underneath. Just like that. Now, before we move on to the backing, I'm going to show you another one. Now I'm going to sew these down. Now we're going to take the 3-inch squares. All right, so we got our 4-inch squares. So you're going to want these triangles almost to the tip corners here. Just like that. Okay, now we're going to take the rest of our 3-inch squares. And sew those in place. Okay, so I got it all pressed down and I got the rest of my triangles sewn on. Just making sure that these are covering my other triangles. So there is one more mug mat and we're going to do another one. All right, so I got those sewed on. Now we're going to move on to the other green. All right, so I got my 4-inch triangle sewed down. Now I got the other green 4-inch triangle sewn down. Now I'm going to take these 4-inch triangles. I'm going to put them in the corner, almost touching here. Now I'm going to sew those down. Now these are 4-inch squares. Okay, so I've got all 4-inch triangles sewn down so far. Now I'm going to take the 3-inch triangles and I'm going to be putting these in the center. Now we're going to sew those down. All right, so we got that all sewn on and we're going to move on to the next. Now, if you notice, I've got a couple pieces of fabric sewn together because it is patchwork mug mats and you use your scraps. So I'll go ahead and get this sewn on. Now I got that sewn on. We're going to go ahead and put 3-inch triangles in the center. And I'll get this sewn on. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and sew these on. Now these on the corner, you're going to come up just a tiny bit to where you have like maybe, what, about a 1/2 inch? All right, I'll get that sewn on. Okay, so I got all those sewn down now. I'm going to take another 3-inch. I'm going to get these sewed down. So I got that sewn on. Now I'm going to take the rest of the 3-inch triangles and I'm going to sew those on in the corners. Now, as you can see, if you're not exactly straight with this, that's okay, because it'll work out. You just want to make sure that your triangle is to that corner there. Okay, so now that we have all our pieces sewn on, we're going to go ahead and trim all these off so you have a 5-inch square. I went ahead and trimmed my mug mats down to 5 by 5. And it's up to you if you want to use batting or not, because these will be used for mugs. So, I mean, there's kind of enough padding in there without it, but so the next step is I'm gonna run a stitch on the triangles here, staying as close to the edge as possible, and then we will go ahead and continue on. Okay, you guys, so I'm not a professional sewer or anything like that, or seamstress. I just love to do stuff around the homestead here, so I just did a basic stitch just around the triangles in the center here. I didn't do here or anything, I just went around the edge. And that's the thing, when you get around the edge, you want to get as close as possible. I just got through putting a stitch around the corner of my triangle all the way down, just to keep these pieces in place until I get my backing on. Now, I did have my backing at 6 inches, 6 by 6. But I've went ahead and changed that to 7-inch by 7-inch so I can put my batting in here so it can fit my batting in here. And then I'm going to go ahead and fold this under roughly about 1/4 inch, just so I have enough of a seam there to go all the way around to do my border. And I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. Okay guys, so we just got through finishing up our sewing project, and we finished our mug mats, and here they are. Now, we are looking for some input on you viewers and subscribers, and if you are not a subscriber already, maybe you might want to consider, if you like some of the things that we do on our homestead, you'll want to consider subscribing to our channel, and don't forget to like and hit that bell so you can be notified. But I will be giving away 2 sets of these to the lucky winners of some great names for our baby goats. So make sure you leave those in the comments below, those great names. And so hopefully you like this video. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Bye now.